Hey everyone, this is Yuzora, actually from the future, because I am re-recording my introduction to this video. But this is my live reaction plus initial thoughts to Atlas's Metaphor ReFantazio's King's Trials exclusive live stream. I hope you enjoy hearing my thoughts on it and my reactions to it, and if you do, please leave a like and comment below what you liked a lot about it. And if you're curious to see like what other things I do, please consider subscribing and also following me on my Twitch. Okay, now to the video.
People across nigh endless years.
Okay, my thing was just slow. Let me see if I can restart it.
But people across nigh endless years.
A land grotesque as its people.
Ooh.
Let us speak of the
Okay.
old vulture's last grasp at
Gameplay, let's go.
tournament for the throne.
So, summing up, our first trial is to slay a monster.
Sounds like we've lost a few candidates already too. Poor bastards went after something too nasty for their headhunt.
A land full of feral humans, with people either running or going
Okay,
mad.
so we're gonna, I guess that's true, we're referring
What
to
do we
humans as
believe
the
in?
enemies.
Really?
The deformed creatures.
You lot! Enemy attack!
Oh, this music! I think this is like an overworld theme. Oh, did someone join into the squad attack? Ooh, that was such a cool attack.
Not exactly.
Oh, okay, so we get to see the archetypes better.
Each ally of a different tribe.
Fascinating.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna make sure to look at those later.
Fear.
Oh, so other people also have preemptive, like,
They
squad
always lead
attacks.
the people astray.
That's cool.
This place, it isn't a utopia.
If that's the real world, then it can die alongside you.
Oh, okay, so grabbing the chest seems to be, and like pulling your heart out, seems to be like a awakening to an archetype.
Traces to the gallows, not just us, but any innocent folks he doesn't find useful.
Alright, that's another candidate, isn't it?
And its light shines upon Lord Luis's king.
This
Whoa.
outcome is beyond your meddling now.
I must clear my head of these fantasies. In the end, clinging to a dream.
What the
will do me no good.
She died?
Knowing all this,
Or got cut down?
I shall claim the ideals you abandoned and finish it in your stead.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess this guy is the main villain, per se. Or our primary antagonist for most of the game. I don't think he's gonna be the final one, but I think he's gonna be there. Like, as like an antagonistic force just throughout. Oh! What? September? That's so much earlier than I thought it was gonna come out. Ooh, this track. Travel Beyond Fantasy.
Hello everyone, I'm Katsura Hashino, the director of this title.
Hello,
For
Hashino.
those that may not know me, I've worked on titles such as Shin Megami Tensei 3, Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5 among others.
Yeah.
Our program today is about Atlas's upcoming RPG, Metaphor, to share the latest information with you. As we announced in the trailer earlier, the release date is confirmed. The entire team is grateful for the positive feedback
Oh, I'm
we've
so
received since the
happy. Oh my
announcement.
god, that's happening
But for
much
some of
earlier
you,
than I thought.
perhaps
I thought
this
there was
is the
gonna be
first
like
time you're seeing
December.
Metaphor. This work is being
Like
brought
early
to
December.
you by not only the Persona team, but in collaboration with renowned artists to create a brand new RPG. With this team, we decided to challenge the fantasy genre, aiming to create a game we can call a culmination of our RPGs. Our hope is
Okay.
that not only Atlas fans, but those who have never played our games, and RPG fans around the world will give this game a shot.
I hope so too. I hope that this game sells really well and reaches a wider
experience
audience.
of Metaphor, as I talk over while playing the game.
Oh, what? It's like live gameplay.
Please check out the Atlas YouTube channel for more information that will come further down the line.
I will definitely be
We
doing
love your
that.
support. Please subscribe. Before I start playing, let me introduce the premise of the story. In this game, you'll be forging bonds to support your claim for the throne.
Okay.
But it's the unique take on this that we hope puts a spin on the classic tale. In a kingdom thrown into chaos by the king's assassination, a royal magic is triggered that establishes an election. This magic allows any individual of any social status to become the next king by gaining the people's support, which sets a battle for the throne in motion. The protagonist gets involved, and the journey will take him around the world. It's a journey that I hope you enjoy.
Seems like the protagonist does have like talking lines, kind of similar to how Ringo in Soul Hackers 2 was.
You'll meet various allies of different tribes, rivals who stand by their own ideologies, and terrifying monsters called humans will stand in your way. The story is brimming with fateful encounters like this. Above all else, a game offers a different experience than a movie or novel. So to prevent this from becoming just a vehicle for our tale, we've gone to great lengths to flesh out the experience into an exciting, fully fleshed game. There's lots to be excited about, so I hope you'll stay with us till the end.
I want to see
Let's
more
get
of the
started, shall
archetypes. That's what I wanted to see the most, like more of the archetypes. Oh, gameplay! Okay.
The title's logo design is based on the concept of a city's main street.
Oh, this is such a
It
pretty
conveys our
opening,
hope that
like
players
title
will enjoy
screen.
a journey through a world
Wow.
full of diverse tribes. If you don't mind, let's start at the beginning. What makes Metaphor different from other fantasy RPGs is the perspective of their world in which our world is their fantasy. After players enter their name, they must answer the questions. Is fantasy limited to the confines of imagination? Would you call it a powerless creation? The game questions the power of fantasy, a power we all possess.
I wonder if these
I hope the
questions
game
are going to
helps you
have some
arrive to
impact
your own
later on in
conclusions.
the story. Like it'll set certain like trajectories in the
Our
narrative.
protagonist's journey and goal is to save the prince who has been cursed. This is a scene from the beginning of the game.
Ooh.
Think we'll make it?
What differentiates this from
I wonder if
previous
we're gonna get the
Atlas
English cast
RPGs
like announced
is that
today as
we've
well.
added a more dynamic sense of action.
Let's go.
The
I don't think
turn-based
we've got
battles
any
are
announcement
still
for that
central
either.
to the combat, but we've incorporated real-time attacking and dodging elements, as well as dashing around and analyzing to keep things exciting. At the beginning of the
shit.
game, the protagonist isn't strong yet,
Watch out!
so the difficulty of the battles is intentionally pretty high in this area.
Oh, so
They
does
wanted players to get a sense of both tension and accomplishment. I might die if I risk fighting right now, so I'll explore cautiously
interesting.
during this segment.
Okay, that's cool.
That said, there are multiple difficulty levels and convenience factors to make things easier, so we hope anyone who wants to play can enjoy it.
So make you have to decide whether or not you want to do combat or not in
In
certain
this
areas.
scene, our fairy
That is
companion casts
cool.
a musical spell. The music you hear in-game is in the protagonist's head.
Oh, that's
The
interesting.
composer behind the music is Shoji Meguro.
Shoji Meguro, I
People
love his
probably know him
music.
from the Persona series, but I've asked him not to be constrained by his trademark pop style, and to take on the challenge of creating a totally new sound to fit this game's world.
And it sounds amazing
We
so
hope you'll
far,
look forward
just from
to
the bits
hearing
and
it.
pieces we've heard. I can't wait to hear the full soundtrack for this.
This is a particularly large area in the game, and you can see hordes of enemies ahead. One
That's
exciting
cool.
aspect of this game is that you can decide which enemies to fight and how to deal with them. But I'll explain more about battles later.
Oh,
First,
interesting.
let's take a walk around
So
the
items
city.
are just... Okay, so you can identify items easily with them just glowing on the ground. Life on the road.
This is the first stop on our journey, the Royal Capital Grand Trad. The background art was designed by Koda Kazuma, a guest artist we're thrilled to work with.
Ooh.
The dynamic architecture comes to life with a unique
I remember
sense
they
of
did
realism and
announcing that
medieval
like
painting
when
like
it first got
shaders.
announced.
So I hope
And
you enjoy taking it in.
I mean the environments just look so freaking pretty.
Here we are at the city entrance, and you probably noticed the massive armored vehicle. The protagonist will ride around in this to travel the world. The original designs of these vehicles were created by Ikuto Yamashita.
Such an
I'll get
interesting
into the
like
journey
cast
aspect
of
in a
like
little bit, so let's
people
walk around the
who are
city a
working
bit
on
more.
this. Like I never
magic,
thought you would
you
see
can
like
ride around
all
on
of them
your
come
sword
together to work
to get
on this,
from
and I
one
guess
place
that
to
adds to
another
the excitement
quickly.
of everything.
I wouldn't define this game as being open world, but we took care to flesh out even the distant backgrounds so you can feel the unique atmosphere of every location.
So maybe it's more like open zone, like Sonic Frontiers.
Now we're heading toward an alley. The
Maybe
atmosphere
not.
changes
Maybe it's
a
even
lot from
more
the main street.
linear than that. Not
This is
completely,
where
but more
executions happen.
comparatively.
That's not something you see very often in modern day stories. You'll also note some people
gallows.
cowering in the streets, because this world has a prevalent gap between rich and poor.
Oh, you can't, even in a fantasy world, you can't
As
escape
for our
classism.
protagonist, he's a boy from an inferior tribe, abhorred by others. Despite his social standing, he's going to participate in the royal tournament. You'll find many problems in each town you visit, and of course people will need your help.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so this happens
His
after
interactions
the
affect his
events.
popularity
Okay,
in
like
the race.
in the gameplay, right, it happens after the events of like the assassination being announced and the start
Let's
of
check
the
out the town
elections
map.
because he has the archetype.
You can see where you're
in his,
currently located,
character,
and then instantly move anywhere
health
you've
bar
previously visited.
UI.
This should help make the journey more comfortable.
Ooh, fast travel. That's
Let's
cool.
zoom out to the map of the entire kingdom.
Whoa.
This is the royal capital where we are now. In this world, the areas between cities are dangerous areas referred to as wastelands, which makes travel difficult, unlike our world today. As the story progresses, your main hub moves from city to city.
I just need this
And with
music,
that,
man.
let's take a
I
look
just
at a new
have this
city.
playing in the background of my day-to-day life.
This is Martyra, a town we're unveiling for the first time.
Ooh.
It's a pastoral town, quite a contrast from the capital. It may be normal in other fantasy RPGs, but through these acts of traveling and staying at new places, I hope you get a true sense of being on a journey, which is a difficult thing to convey in modern-day stories. By incorporating a unique sense of daily life into traveling, we've made taking a trip feel as real as possible in this game.
Okay, so going to
You'll
incorporate a
encounter
calendar
all
system
sorts
like
of
you do in
things on the
Persona
road,
games.
so please look forward to how the story unfolds.
I wonder how they're going to implement
Let's drop
that.
in at the recruitment center in
But then
this
I'm going to be
city.
anxious of making sure I get
Here
everything
you
done
take
so I don't miss out
requests
on
to
anything.
fight dangerous monsters.
Ooh, okay.
These threats to the city are called bounties. Bounties give you some nice rewards, which hopefully encourages you to challenge them.
I'm definitely going to be fighting
And that's
these.
really
They
just
sound
one of
like-
many
they
challenging
sound like
aspects
mini
the game has
challenges.
to offer. This is the weapons shop. Each city you stay in has various facilities, and in this game your choice of equipment is especially important.
Oh.
In Metaphor, we wanted to give you the freedom to customize your party your own way. So we hope you'll even find some joy in making preparations to explore dungeons in your own style.
Nice. I saw, like, in an earlier trailer that someone pointed
Let's
out
enter the
that the
tavern.
main character, who usually was fighting swords,
I see an informant
switched to
here.
using, like, gauntlets.
Informants
so
offer
I'm
hints
assuming
about
that there is a
dungeons
way
and
that you
battle
can change
strategies.
weapon types for your
Even collecting
characters. But I guess
information
the,
like this
for
is
main
something
character,
we
but I
put
wonder
a
if
lot
it
of
means
thought
that
into
everybody
making
can change
enjoyable.
their weapon types at some point.
The back of the tavern is actually an inn. Visiting a new town and staying at a new inn, that's half the fun of traveling, isn't it?
Oh, they even have, like,
There's so
like,
much to do in these
designs.
cities and towns that I can't
That's
cover it
cool.
all. So stay tuned for further announcements.
So that's how you're going to be passing the night, or passing the day,
Moving
I
on,
suppose.
let's hop into the Gauntlet Runner and head to the battlefield.
Sweet. Okay, you get to see some combat soon. Soon, I think.
The
Maybe
Gauntlet
not.
Runner is a vehicle that can travel safely across wastelands. A mobile base, if you will, with movement and mechanisms that allows it to run on magic. So our protagonist and many others travel in their Gauntlet Runners to gather popularity. Let's go ahead
So
and
cool to
board.
get a ride on their sword. It's like it's like a hoverboard of some sorts.
This is the Gauntlet Runner's War Room. If you access the round table here, all your allies gather back from town, and a map of your journey opens. Most RPGs don't have a time limit on the adventure, but Metaphor revolves around the concept of dates and time. For people today, travel often has a fixed itinerary, such as 3 days and 2 nights.
Right.
So in this game, we've captured the travel experience with predetermined lengths of activities and structure. But within that, what you do, where you go, is up to each player who can choose to do things differently. You're free to spend your time as you please.
That sounds hikey stressful, not gonna lie.
Here we have the list of quests I've accepted. You have a set time frame to complete the main story objective at each location you visit. But these side quests play an important role in the story too.
So I wonder if it's going to be like Persona 4 and 5,
Some
where you need to
require fighting
finish
strong enemies.
Well, in 4 you need to fight a
While
person's
others
shadow
may
between
offer
a
rare equipment.
deadline before you get a game over. So if you don't
The
complete the
order
quest
in which
before
you take on
a
these quests
timeline, you
will
get a game
have a
over.
great impact on how difficult the
I think
battles
that's going to
feel.
be how that part plays
So
out.
which
at least.
challenges you take on first will play a big factor in your experience.
Interesting.
Now let's pick a destination and head out. Okay, we have departed. In most games, you arrive at your destination instantly, but here you're inside the runner, heading toward it.
Oh.
Imagine, for example, living in a camper with your travel companions.
Right.
Cooking, conversing, camping, and more. We want you to have a realistic traveling experience, so we designed the game to reflect that. This is the kitchen. You can cook the ingredients you've gathered with your friends to make valuable items. In the back is the common room. Looks like nobody's here right now, but
I
your
wonder
allies
if,
will often visit
like,
you to spend time
a
with them.
day or like
There is
a
also
day
a
will
collection of
pass
books for you
when
to read.
traveling. That counts for
Or
like
if
the
you'd
calendar
rather not
system.
do anything, you can sleep here. As you can see, we have Japanese-style capsule-shaped beds. The Gauntlet
pod
Runner's
hotels.
interior is quite
Capsule
spacious
hotels,
and
sorry.
even has its own engine room. Here's a washing machine, and you'll find cleaning supplies too.
Oh man, we got to worry about laundry in this game too.
I hope
That's
you're
crazy.
excited to learn more about how they play into things. You're not
I'm
limited
assuming
to
they're going
staying
to work into
inside
like
the Gauntlet Runner.
more
If you climb up the ladder to the
opportunities
deck,
to get to know your
you can
teammates.
see it moving through this
I know that
massive
there's a
world.
social aspect like that in this game.
You can even see monsters soaring overhead.
Oh?
The Gauntlet Runner has so much to do as you head to your next stop that it's impossible to tell you it all here. So please stay tuned.
Interesting. I'm excited to
Once
learn
you've
more.
prepared in the runner or a city, you'll arrive in a dungeon. Here's an introduction to the combat system,
Okay,
which
it's
is
time.
critical to
Combat.
making progress.
Oh, I'm so ready for this. This is the part I'm most excited for.
This is
One of
the
the most
entrance
exciting
to a
parts
certain
for.
dungeon. Let's check the main menu before we head in. Here we have features like items, skills, and equipment. You can see that
This
the
is such a
UI
cool
has always been
menu
one
as
of our
well.
strong suits. It's something that we were very particular about. You often spend a lot of time navigating menus in RPGs, so we wanted to give players a beautiful interface to enjoy a
Oh,
stronger
each
sense
part
of
has
immersion.
like a different part of their body for the main character.
Let's check out the party customization screen.
Except for this part,
The key
it
to
just shows
strengthening
everybody.
a party in Metaphor lies in the job system, and the growth of these jobs is critical to
Okay, so we're
advancing
referring
through
to
the game.
archetypes as job systems.
In Metaphor, the
Oh,
power
he's
of these
mage
jobs
now.
is called archetypes. Archetypes are a very important element to this game, which I'll give you a few
Oh,
more
and they each
details
have their
on.
own elemental affinities. Oh, I gotta check out the
By
elements after
confronting
this.
their anxiety,
I
the
didn't catch it the
protagonists
first time.
acquire these archetypes, a special power. Think of them as heroic figures everyone possesses. Their powers
Right.
manifest in various forms throughout the game. Examples of some archetypes that show up early in the game include the Seeker, who is an all-rounder in battle.
Tarakaja.
The Mage, who strikes weaknesses with offensive magic. And the Thief, who can plunder resources.
Oh, okay, I saw Mudo,
But
so
the
there's...
key point of the
I
system
see, so
here
there's
is
gonna be
that
dark
the
and
character
light.
can undergo a transformation, taking on the appearance of various heroic figures and then use their skills to fight.
Ooh.
Let's enter the dungeon and take a look at what kind of combat is possible.
Will.
Once you enter the dungeon, use your fairy companion's power to analyze your surroundings.
Why doesn't he refer to her as Galaga?
This will give you a sort of
We've already
ranking
seen
of
her
nearby
name,
enemies.
so why keep
And by that, I
referring
mean
to
how
her as the
strong
fairy
they are.
companion?
As you can see, many enemies are glowing blue, which indicates a lower rank. In other words, weaker enemies.
Nice.
One of the things we
Okay,
kept in
that's
mind
good, easy
during
to follow.
development was our goal to make the game as fast-paced and exhilarating as possible.
I think that's all of them.
Okay, so blue enemies, you easily just beat them. You don't have
Tedious
to
and
enter the actual
slow-paced enemy
second
encounters
phase of
can
combat,
ruin a
or
game's
the other
rhythm,
phase of combat.
especially if you know you can win against weaker enemies.
We're not alone. Keep an eye out.
Now, you'll notice we have a large monster ahead. more dangerous enemies give off a yellow glow.
Ooh, this
If the
soundtrack.
analysis indicates they're
Or, like,
formidable,
the song for this
you should
dungeon.
approach cautiously, unlike before.
Oh, the
Pressing
battle
the
theme!
squad button will call your party members to your side, transitioning us smoothly into a turn-based battle.
I love that transition.
If you initiate a squad battle before the enemy notices you, you earn a bonus first strike just like this. Even for battles that require a squad approach to defeat them with skills, the action portion
even
before
have,
it
like,
is designed to provide a
like,
tactical
acquire
element
OST to
with
it.
mechanics that can lead to both advantages and disadvantages. The squad option allows you to engage and enjoy tense, tactical battles without even drawing close, and using a variety of skills and strategic actions.
Oh, that
The
sounds
party
so cool.
customization is highly flexible and strategic.
Oh, so this
we
is the
encourage you
battle
to create
theme.
your own unique and
I thought this was
powerful
like a
party.
boss theme.
We have just annihilated the enemies. As you can see, you can earn bonus rewards by defeating all enemies without taking any damage.
Oh, that's awesome. It's gonna make grinding.
We implemented this feature to provide a sense of accomplishment in party customization, so I suggest you try it out. So that's the exhilarating action elements and the strategic nature of
So
the
it's
turn-based battles.
nice to see like
It's a
a
battle
class
system with
isn't
two
or a job
aspects to
isn't
enjoy,
like
so
limited
we
to
hope
one
you have
element
fun
either.
when the game
Because some
comes
mage
out.
had like 3. It had ice, fire, and lightning.
Next, I'd like to touch on the volume of dungeons. As you progress through the story, you'll come across main dungeons, which you'll tackle as part of the main story, and side dungeons, which you can explore as part of quests.
Oh wow, he just ran
Both
across.
types
So the enemies
will
will
of
just
course
jump out of
plunge
the
you into
environment
battle.
too.
In terms of the number of
Like, from
dungeons
not being
to
visible.
challenge, it's more than any
Because
previous
that lizard
title
creature
of
just
ours.
jumped out of the water.
Furthermore, the dungeon mechanics we've designed were created to avoid impacting the balance and pacing, reducing anything that may bore you. The battle system in these dungeons is one of our strongest selling points.
Okay.
So we hope you enjoy it. As we created the game, one area we
Interesting
focused on
design.
was how spending time on the road impacted the growth of your party members.
Right.
One of the systems that symbolize this is the follower system. The protagonist will meet and befriend various people over his journey. As he continues to deepen these bonds, these followers will become his strongest supporters. Seeing their way of life through these interactions, the protagonist senses the heroic image within them,
Oh, so this is
giving
like the
him
social
access to new
screen.
archetypes in battle that awaken within him.
Interesting.
It's up to the player to decide which followers to prioritize interacting with.
Oh. Okay, so the archetypes allow
Finding
which weapon you
strategies
use.
to gain advantage, both in dungeons
think.
and outside of them, is a unique aspect of this game.
The brawler archetype.
We hope you enjoy them.
So then, I wonder if
There's more
these
to
are going to be
share
our
about
permanent party
archetypes,
members, the 4 we
but
saw
we'll
earlier.
save that for future
I don't think it'll be the
announcements.
case because that's not like an Atlas thing.
I'll
really.
just say for now that there's a significant number of them in the game.
Ooh.
Furthermore, your other party members can also equip any type of archetype, giving you countless options in forming
Okay, so
your
everyone
party.
can switch archetypes. That's good to know.
Take a look. I'll show you on screen. Here's a party consisting only of brawlers.
Oh.
Unique parties like this are fully possible, so we hope you get creative with it.
Endgame
Metaphor
Ultimate
has been
Archetype. Everyone's
created
equipped with
the
it.
goal of fusing the idea of a journey with interpersonal interactions, party growth, combat, and a taste of the storyline we've described today into a single game experience. So when the game releases,
It's
we hope
kind of
you'll
reminding me-
experience these
I mean,
aspects
no.
to the fullest.
Not really. Never mind.
What did you think? That was only scratching the surface of the journey and
That
the
looks so
basics of
cool.
the
I
game
am
system.
so excited for this.
There's so much more we can't wait to share. Metaphor is a massive game filled with interesting and unique elements. As for the narrative, I only touched on the beginning of the story, but the surprising
Right.
twists and turns we're known for await you.
Oh, okay.
I hope you're looking forward to hearing more about the story and characters that make this game truly special. In addition,
That box sword!
We're hoping to give you hands-on demos in various events around the world.
Oh, demos!
The entire development team is working hard to get the game ready for release, so please stay tuned. I should also mention we're opening pre-orders today,
Ooh, nice.
so don't miss out. In addition to the standard edition, Metaphor is also available in a special physical collector's edition. This year marks 35 years since Atlas released its first game, and Metaphor serves as the 35th anniversary commemoration title
all the
for the
Persona
Atlas
outfits.
brand.
Or sorry, Persona and
It's a
SMP.
celebration title, and we're very excited to get this game into your hands.
Wait, okay, so there's Persona
So we
1,
hope you
Persona...
check it out
oh,
when it
okay.
launches.
I saw like the first
Before
couple
I sign
Persona
off, I have a
protagonists. I
short
saw
video we prepared for those of
SMT5.
you who
I
stuck
didn't
with us
recognize
to
the
the end.
last one.
This is a scene from the Gauntlet Runner, which I spoke about earlier.
Oh?
Please look forward to the all-new RPG from Atlas, Metaphor. Thank you very much for your time today.
No, thank you. Thank you. This was so nice.
Hey there. Yep.
Her voice... Is this... Shoot. I'm forgetting her name. Forgetting to see him bathe? Okay. Oh! Wait. You raise your agility from bathing. Interesting. So I guess just doing stuff around the camp will raise your stats, not necessarily. Oh, okay, so I'm guessing it'll raise your stats and then it'll also raise your like friendship levels and trust. Okay, I'm gonna go back now. Okay, for some reason, on the English version of the live stream, they cut off the beginning, like start of it. I don't know if, at least that's how it's experienced on my end. So I'm just gonna look at the Japanese version just to see if I can get the beginning, because I can't seem to pull that up. And then I'll switch back over to the English one to give my like further in-depth looks on that, because I want to see the trailer again in its entirety.
Let us speak of the old vulture's last grasp at power.
Let us speak of the vulture's last grasp at power. Why would he say that? Because it's not the king. The king is dead. So how is his last grasp at power if he gave everyone the choice? Unless that guy who I'm pretty sure was the person who assassinated him, unless he thinks the throne's rightfully his, which actually is more likely than not.
The tournament for the throne.
So, summing up, our first trial is to slay a monster.
Sounds like we've lost a few candidates.
So not all the candidates are making it to the end, and I don't know if that means we're gonna... I initially thought we were gonna fight all of the candidates at some point in the story. Probably towards mid-game to the end. But it would seem like they'll get killed off by themselves during the trials. Interesting.
It's already too.
With
Look at
people
this real
either
quick.
running or going mad.
So we have great swords, lances, gauntlets, and bows, katanas, and staves. I'm not gonna actually look into that per se here. But, okay, so I made a comment earlier about, is it gonna be that only the 4 people we saw as a party member? No, this pretty much confirms that. I mean, we're gonna see if we're seeing them on the ship. I'm guessing these guys are gonna be playable at some point, so they'll be our party members as well.
Believing? Really?
You lot! Enemy attack!
Interesting. So I wonder if this is like a main event, or during the times that we will be traveling, we're gonna be stopped because a monster is gonna impede our progress from traveling from one place to another, and so we have like a a mini traveling fight that needs to happen. Not necessarily like a boss or a mini boss, but like just like a battle that will happen. Maybe a little bit tougher than a normal battle you'd find in dungeons. Kind of like how when accessing the Amala network in like SMT3, you're running, you'd run into enemies there. As you use the Amala network to travel from one place to another. Maybe that's good. That has something to do with this? Maybe. Or this is just probably a scripted event in the story.
Hitting us while we're asleep is dirty fighting.
You're in this race to be.
Oh, okay, that's also interesting, seeing how these two that we saw in the trailer earlier are standing by him, so I'm guessing they work under him at the moment. And I don't know why are we meeting up with him like this? That's what I don't know.
King, are you?
Not exactly.
Each ally of a different tribe.
Fascinating.
Okay, there's gonna be a party member from every tribe that is playable. At least that's what I'm understanding, according to the comment right now.
Fear and...
Are archetypes like the Seeker going to be like MC exclusive? And if that's the case, are there going to be exclusive archetypes for characters? Even though there's going to be some that, like as we see here, there's like a brawler for everyone. But I wonder if there's going to be like specific for one character, like, oh, this one person has access to this specific archetype, and only they can use it.
They always lead the people astray.
And I wonder if it's going to be like, I'm sure other games did this also, but like I'm thinking Bravely Default, they have classes that have like in-class skills and then off-class skills that you can like put as your that you don't need to be a specific archetype. I wonder if that's gonna have something, if that's gonna play in, or if it's gonna be I guess like in a sense SMT Strange Journey, where at least for the commander, like the skills you use are dependent on the gun equipment or gun that you're using.
To the gallows, not just.
The royal funeral draws ever closer. 5 days remain. Ooh. Is that pertaining to the prince, or are they talking about the funeral for the king because he was assassinated?
Just us, but any innocent.
Madness Curse. Okay, so this game, so it has press turns like in the modern SMT games. Because we saw 4 blue crystals before, these are 4 red crystals.
Folks he doesn't find use for.
It is a new dawn, and its light shines upon Lord Louis.
It's interesting that this guy is a necromancer.
The race's outcome is beyond your meddling now.
I must clear my head of these fantasies. In the end, clinging to...
I wonder if this is before Hulkenberg joins the team. Otherwise, it'd be really interesting seeing that this is later on and she gets killed. She gets killed off. That would be a twist, but why would they show that in the trailer? I have to assume this is early on, and then somehow we bring her back to life. Because, I mean, this seems like a very important twist, and for it to be here, I have to assume Atlas thinks it's insignificant. It's not. Sorry, not insignificant, but it's not as significant as other moments in the game.
To a dream will do me no good.
Knowing all this, I shall claim the ideals you abandoned and finish it in your stead.
Man, I cannot wait for the game. Okay. I'm gonna skip around a bit. For first, I'm gonna go into the combat. Okay, here we go.
This is the entrance to a certain dungeon.
Mage, warrior, knight, thief. Okay, so no one. I don't see anybody doing seeker.
Let's check the main menu before we head in. Here we have features like items, skills, and equipment. You can see that the UI has always been one of our strong suits. It's something that we were very particular
It really
about.
is.
You
I love
often
Atlas
spend a lot
UI.
of time navigating menus in RPGs, so we wanted to give players a beautiful interface to enjoy a stronger sense of immersion. Wanted to give players a beautiful interface
I
to
wonder-
enjoy a stronger
Is this like indicative of the canon name for the protagonist, Will?
sense of immersion.
Or is this the person who just
Let's
played
check out
it
the party
for the
customization
English
screen.
version?
The key to strengthening
just
a
forgot
party
to
in
name it
Metaphor
Atlas.
lies in the job system, and the growth of these jobs is critical to advancing through the game. In Metaphor, the growth of these jobs is critical.
Mage. Use fire, ice, and electric magic. It excels at hitting enemy weak points. Cool.
Critical to advancing through the game.
Skilled in physical slash, attacks with the sword. It cuts down foes with strong single target damage. I'm guessing that's warrior or knight. Yeah, okay, that was warrior. For knight, this protector can increase its own defense or draw enemy attacks, useful for redirecting otherwise deadly blows. Okay, so this is your tank archetype. Figure, considering its icon is a shield. And the thief uses a katana slash short sword? Or not short sword, a
In
curved
Metaphor,
blade? Alright. Skilled in stealing items and enemy NP. Oh, interesting. It also wields dark magic and attacks that can cause status ailments.
the power of these jobs is called.
If I had to get, just to guess, because I think the default for elemental system for Atlas, general Atlas games is physical, fire, ice, wind, electricity, light, and dark. There's Almighty, which won't be on the charts for elements, and sometimes they may throw in a secondary physical, like pierce slash shoot.
Archetypes.
Fire snake staff. Okay. So there's 4 different types of accessory slots, or like equipment slots. You have your weapon, your armor, your gear, and your accessory. Okay, but I think gear, is cosmetics. Oh, oops.
Therefore, the power of these jobs is called archetypes.
Okay, either gear or armor is supposed to be. I think it's one of those two has to be the cosmetics. Because you still have the cosmetics things at the end.
Archetype.
All right. Oh, okay. So they're returning to the three physical types like they did in Persona 3. Cool. Okay, so we have slash, pierce, and bash or strike. Yeah, that's strike. So then we have fire, ice, lightning, wind, light, and dark. And stat-wise, we have strength, magic, endurance, agility, and luck.
Very important element.
Channel the Seeker archetype. Wind God's Gale is a weapon. Fire Snake Staff. But why is... I wonder why this is red as opposed to this one being white.
Element to this game, which...
And the equipment... Sorry, the gear changes. So I guess it's the armor that's... No. Maybe it's something else altogether.
I'll give you a few more details on.
Learns versatile skills including wind, magic, single target healing, attack buffs. Okay, so Seeker's the jack of all trades archetype. So I guess that makes sense for that to be exclusive to the protagonist.
By confronting their anxiety, the protagonists acquire these archetypes.
Wait, what did he say?
By
confronting their anxiety. It kind of reminds me of Persona 4, not gonna lie.
Confronting their anxiety, the protagonists acquire these archetypes, a special power. Think of them as heroic figures everyone possesses. Their powers manifest in various...
Archetype tree. Whoa. So I guess there's certain things... Oh, wait, okay, we actually get an idea of what each class becomes. So we see Knight, we see Magic Knight, Paladin, Dark Knight. Thief, oh, I wish this is a little too blurry. Okay, so then
various forms through.
okay, so Seeker can become Magic Seeker, then something else that we haven't unlocked. Mage can become Wizard, and then something else after that. There's another class altogether that's over here that we can't see. Right here, we have Faker. Interesting archetype name. So we have Commander over here, then it becomes General, and then something else after that. We have Warrior that becomes Swordmaster, that becomes Samurai. We have Thief that becomes Assassin, then becomes something else that I'm guessing we unlock later. So then we have Knight, Magic Knight, Paladin, Dark Knight. Interesting that unless Magic Knight splits off into either Paladin or Dark Knight, we have a Merchant class. Something here entirely. And Gunner, Sniper? Oh. Wait a second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh wait, so the brawler that becomes Pugilist? I don't know.
Of some archetypes that show up early.
Okay. Now I want to look at the name of the skills real
various
quick.
forms throughout the game. Examples of some archetypes that show up.
Okay. Cyclo, Day, Tarukaja, Sweeping Slash, Cyclo, or Psych, and then Cyclo. And then we got Cyclodyne. Oh, we have Tetra Break. Interesting.
Up early in the game include the Seeker, who is an all-rounder in battle.
Bot for fire, Blizz for ice, and Conde for electricity.
The Mage, who strikes weaknesses with offensive magic. And the Thief.
Wait, Steel.
And the Thief.
Steal a rare item from an enemy. The higher your agility, the higher your success rate. Oh, interesting. We saw Dark Sword earlier, like later on, and it stuns. Mudo. I wonder if this has like a chance for insta kill, like how SMT 4 Apocalypse and SMT 5 have. Though conditions for that is probably going to vary.
Thief, who can plunder resources. But the key point of the system.
Okay, so you can obscure weapons, and it does damage.
Here is that the character can undergo a transformation, taking on the appearance of various heroic figures, and then use their skills to fight. Let's enter the dungeon and take a look at.
So this is the power of the healer's soul. I feel the power of restoration and light within me.
What kind of combat is possible?
The healer archetype is awakened. You can now change archetypes from the main menu.
New skill.
Mermaid's Torch. Alright, this part was self-explanatory.
To your side.
Like, you see blue enemies, you don't have to engage in combat, you can easily just defeat them without much of a hassle. Then you have yellow enemies, which they're not that you have to engage into combat with. I wonder if you're gonna have like red enemies in that is like, oh, these guys are way too tough or way too high leveled for you, so you're gonna have to come back at another time.
Transitioning us smoothly into a turn-based battle. If you initiate a squad battle before the enemy notices you, you earn.
So unfortunately, because this for their stream, they have this thing here that's blocking. I can't see how this UI for turn system goes, because we don't know if it's going to be pressed like traditional press turns where every time if you get like a critical hit or hit a weakness, you extend it by like one turn.
A bonus first strike just like this. Even for battles that require a squad approach to defeat them with skills,
okay, well I did see that one disappear right there.
Is designed to provide a tactical element with mechanic.
Horse-drawn cartridge. Wait.
The action portion before it is designed to provide a tactical element with mechanics.
Okay, so that was that move like a synthesis?
Just like this. Even for battles that require a squad approach to defeat them with skills, the action portion before.
Alright, yeah, I think that's a team-up attack.
For it is designed to provide a.
Because you see, Stroll is using a move that's buffing the Seeker. The Seeker's on the main protagonist.
Tactical element, with mechanics that can lead to both advantages and disadvantages.
I want to check earlier on, see if there's anything else I wanted to point out. Because the earlier part seemed pretty self-explanatory with how areas worked. This area was cool because it indicates that there are going to be some areas where your primary objective is probably not to engage in battle, but to like try to just get from point A to point B and avoid as many people as possible. Meaning you can't just unga bunga your way through. You're gonna have to practice a little bit of stealth. Though I don't know. I don't see it being like a very prominent thing, and probably isn't the most. It'll be just like going through Tartarus, where you just avoid shadows that you just don't want to fight. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's stealth portion, but I mean, especially when there's a field. It seemed like there was a lot of enemies in the field. Okay. So at least for this one thing over here, it mentioned that there's going to be multiple waves of enemies. Like you'd have to fight the goblins, and before you get to the Goblin King, or whatever that main enemy is.
Nice rewards, which
hopefully
encourages you to.
They'll attack you with swords and bows as well as magic. The boss won't come out until you dispatch the underlings.
Challenge them. And that's really just one of many challenging aspects the game has to offer. This is the weapons shop.
I mean, it's also the whole point of this, at least narrative speaking, which I know it's not exactly in this portion, but we mentioned how the main character was in a tribe that isn't viewed very popular or very highly. So that already sets up the uphill battle. Everybody's gonna have zero sway, or zero, or close to zero followers / people liking us. So there's the uphill battle. But it'll be like building that up, like kind of how like you build your social stats in the Persona games. At least I think. Only it's probably more linear, and it's one bar that you need to do to build followers. And I wonder if certain actions are going to cause the bar to decrease. Like, you make the wrong choice and you lose, like, followers because of that. Maybe not, like, the companion followers that allow you archetypes, but, like, the NPC ones. I guess we'll have to wait and see about that in a future update.
We wanted to give you the freedom to customize your party your own way. So we hope you'll even find some joy in making preparations to explore dungeons.
I wonder if there's going to be something like in Bravely Default, where you have the Phoenix and the Dark Knight classes join together. So then you do like the Phoenix Strike that drains all your HP till 1, and then you do Minus Strike, which does bonus damage based off how much health you lost. That was so broken. I think they removed that in Bravely Second and Bravely Default 2. I haven't played those games. I should play those games one day. So we saw towards the end, like over here, how certain activities will do, how the benefits of certain activities. Like, we see that taking a bath here, it's a bath with fleeting fountain of youth in it. Oh, so a specific item in it, and that's what causes it to have your stats increase. Protagonist agility increased by 2. And we got mag out of that. Interesting. I also think it's... Okay, again, I probably said this before, but I'm going to say it again. I think it's so cool that we also get to see different characters do their transition cuts into this.
Unlike before. Pressing the squad button will call your party members to your side.
It also seems that in order to initiate combat, you'll have your teammates also attacking to break their guard. Which... Hey, that's cool, because you normally, like in other Persona... Like in Persona games, because that's the only other game, like... Because in SMT, you don't have your party members outside roaming as they, like, run around with you. In Persona, you do, but all combat is initiated based off the protagonist. Here, you have, like, your party members chipping in to do the fights as they transition in. So I wonder if they're going to do this to kind of just, like, transitional combat system in other Atlas games. Because I figured that they were going to test it out here and then implement that in Persona 6. But well, we'll have to wait and see. And if they do, it would be cool to see your party members also chip in to fight this, to initiate combat.
Transitioning and
okay, so here, right here,
you can
just the fact that we saw the enemy jump out of the water like that, and that's gonna lead for a lot of funny encounters. I can already imagine that. Like, you're low on health, trying to like make your way out like to like a safe area, and all of a sudden, either from the water, from the ceiling, freaking maybe from like a sewer pipe, Majima is everywhere style, an enemy just jumps out of nowhere and attacks you. Because you know they'll well, I mean, we've seen in other trailers when the enemy gets a preemptive strike on you, and they get the enemy the first strike advantage. So then the question comes down to what's the opening time, or like not the opening time. It's what's the like time between them entering into the field before them attacking. Because like here, there was like a couple of seconds before this guy reacted after getting out of the water.
Explore as part
so you're able to run past him. It's like maybe it's dependent on the difficulty of the game.
Quests. Both types will of course plunge you into battle. In terms of the number,
well, it's also interesting that you see the demi-humans like species thing, like the Homo something. Bit of a side tangent. I think this design is really cool in the sense that you see the person's bruises. Like we see that she gives you the brawler archetype. I don't know if this is a party member that will join you and fight with you, but it really fits the whole brawler thing, which is cool because normally you don't really see like bandaged up designs. It's like or like damaged design, like not damaged design, but like this is. I think this design is unique because you don't really typically see that, especially when someone this much skin showing. It's cool.
It's up to the player to decide.
Also, or maybe maybe you need to max out their ranks in order to get them to join you. Or maybe no, I think ranks will unlock you different levels of the archetypes, because we saw earlier how the archetype tree branches on like positions on the specific path unlock a more like a second or third version of the archetype, the initial one, like how we saw mage became wizard, or how knight became something else, magic knight, then paladin, or dark knight.
Which followers to prioritize interacting with.
Like over here.
Finding strategies to gain advantage both in dungeons and outside of them is a unique aspect of this game.
You can now study the brawler in academia. Okay, so that must be the area where you go to level up your archetypes.
We hope you enjoy them. There's more to share about archetypes, but we'll save that for a future announcement.
Okay, I'm gonna be so waiting forward to that future announcement that talks about other archetypes.
Unique parties like this.
Okay, that's so cool, because as you're like making like progress ahead and like you're separating from your party, that the main protagonist is signaling for them to follow you. That is such a cool detail. I love that they added that. It adds more to the sense of togetherness.
Are fully possible.
That's such a cool detail.
You get creative with it. Metaphor has
gargoyles that like you don't see them as enemies, but then like they'll just jump out on you. That's what I'm talking about. You're gonna get freaking jump scared by all these enemies from out of nowhere. Unlock synthesis, meteoric fist. Oh, okay. So synthesis attacks are, I guess, dependent on like they're like fusion spells where specific personas will unlock a specific move. But yeah, I'm assuming there has to be a some kind of cost in order to perform a synthesis. Also nice that they have a retry to turn back the clock. I didn't notice that till now. Finally, I just want to talk about this last bit, which covers like the box art and some of the day 1 DLC stuff, which day 1 DLC, at this point I have to just expect it from Atlas, even though I'm not happy about it. The pre-order bonus of an archetype experience chest set and adventurer's journey pack. Huh, interesting. But this box art is so good. I love it because it's like it's the protagonist, the party members, and your followers. Like eventually you'll end up getting the support of like everybody. Because I think that by end game, right? That's the whole thing. You'll get everyone's support, and then you'll become king.
Starting in June, we're hoping to give you hands-on demos in
Alright, so demo in June. Expect it. That's freaking exciting.
various events around the world. The entire development team is working hard to get the game ready for release, so please stay tuned. I should also mention we're opening pre-orders today, so don't miss out. In addition to the standard edition, Metaphor is also available in a special physical collector's edition.
Okay, the other thing. I've seen this art before. Makes sense. This is a steelbook. Okay, costume and battle BGM suit. Okay. Persona 1 protagonist, Persona 2 protagonist, Persona 3 protagonist, Persona 4 protagonist, Persona 5, Flynn, Nahobino in his human form. I don't recognize this guy over here. Like, what is this outfit based off of? Let me lean in and see if I can get it. Better look. No, I just can't figure out what this is. I was initially going to say, oh, it's like Zelda, but like, or like Link. But no, it doesn't look like that. Maybe it's Etrian Odyssey? Oh, Atlas's 35 digital history book plus Atlas 35 digital all-time best soundtrack. Oh, I would love that. Unfortunately, I don't have the money to get this. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna get. I'm pretty sure this is gonna get sold out. It's sold out by now. It's like been 30 minutes, like more than 30 minutes since the trailer ended. So I'm pretty sure people already got it and are scalping it as we speak. Because of course we can't have good things. But this is the book that the guy with the blonde dude with the horns was reading. So I wonder if that's the fantasy book that in their story that talks about the real world, which is our world. So cool. So freaking cool.
This year marks 35 years since Atlas released its first game, and
35 years. That is crazy. I hope it goes strong for another 35 years, which I don't know if that's the case. I don't know what the future holds. Hell, I don't even know if Persona is making it past Persona 10. But I'm freaking excited for this. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait. Alright, I think that's all I'm gonna look into right now. Maybe I'm just probably gonna go watch other people's reactions to it, see what other things they picked up on, because I'm just so freaking hyped for this. So, if you made it this far to the video, well, congrats. You made it to the end of my reaction / initial thoughts. If you like what you heard, tell me below what you either agree or disagree with from my initial thoughts, or just tell me what you're super excited about for this game. If you're curious to see what else I do, you can follow me on my Twitch as I live stream games. And if you're curious to see what games I stream, you can follow my Twitter to get a look at my schedule. So, thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.